And it's me, your girl, to talk with Tiny. Y'all already know how I get down and how I do. Today, I was just now, trying to clean out some things on the Sabbath. It's always good to clean out your refrigerator and things. We're heading towards the Passover. Um, Many of us, we struggle in a world filled with artificial intelligence. As smart as people may think they are, they have been robbed of their minds. They have been deprived of the true wisdom. They have rejected. In fact, the whole world has rejected knowledge. So we're in the process where the world is being rejected. Come on now, listen. I was trying to proceed to do what I do, around my house on certain times like this, as um as even as far as examining myself, throwing the things out that I don't need. And that goes with the sins, the unrighteous things that take pleasure to suppress ourselves. See, today I want to clarify something. We are the tools of our own destruction, because when we use these things that are made to harm us, and we use it um, without care, we get careless. We mix this artificial intelligence with reality to the point where you can't even tell what's real and what's fake. Now, beloveds, I want to share something with you. Happy Sabbath, first of all. Blessed are those who seek the Most High diligently and wisely in such a time. You should be cutting out your sackcloth. You should be on top of your rooftop, shouting to the Most High and praying and pressing forth against the wicked, against the all odds, against the ones who are standing in your way, the ones seen and the unseen, and those who are struggling with themselves as far as suppressing their own spirits. How can I suppress my own spirit with the wicked things of this world? By just being a participator in it. As far as feeding this beast that takes over your mind on a daily basis, that will take you and crumble you up. As artificial intelligence begins to replicate, how does it replicate, beloved? Well, they took my power. They took my ancestors. They abused them because my ancestors abused themselves. They've been manipulated in the name of love, in the name of loving your enemy and praying for your enemy, while your enemy has grew to increase the destruction upon you, as the word tells us in the chessboard. I have to agree with many of you who are in this know. Then again, I will have to disagree with the ones who are uninformed about this know. And not that it's not available, it's all about rejecting. Keyword reject. Those who reject shall be rejected, because the only thing that you have to save you, you reject it. That part. So when we begin to try to be like other people, and this is where we go wrong at, and this is why we have to hide ourselves and depart. And you have to be built on the foundation and the solid root of the Most High. When you begin to go deep within yourself and you tap into your mind, you will be able to tap into the past. You will begin to visualize and see how your enemies have harmed you. Where did your ancestors go wrong? How did they get here? How did you get here, beloveds? Well, I'll tell you what, it only took 1,000 years, just about. And a lot of atrocities and heartaches and diabolical, uh, inhumane participants. People became vanity, pleasures of themselves, and boasters and lovers of money and so forth. And you know how it goes. But see, some of you like to disregard everything. You like to pick out the word, even during the lies and the storms and the illusions. You know, the Alice's in the biggest wonderland. Shout out to you all, you shadow bots. You are shadow entities. You are dwelling place for demons, and that's what this word has come about. Where am I going with this? Well, I'm going to show you some things because I want us to be aware. See, I was minding my business and something has come over me. Another thing, you folks that are out there making self decisions and you claim that the Most High is telling you to do these things. Okay. The problem with folks is we're getting ready to go in the wilderness and you, oh my goodness, may the best one standing last. That's all I have to say. Okay? May the best one standing. Because I'm going to tell you what, that's the problem with folks. And I can prove it and tell you as humbly as possible. It ain't going to get no better than this because I can't turn down the heat. If you cannot take the heat, then get the on out the kitchen. That part. Kind of like, you know, what was a Sabbath day? What was an honoring? You know, they will take a Memorial Day, a Sabbath day, and misuse it. They will fry pork on on a ritual, on a hmm, and they will sacrifice that on a Sabbath day. That's how piggish these folks are. You know, little did you know when you burn your sacrifices and you participated in these feasts, it was a signification to the Most High that you acknowledge what he has done all the way from the first Egypt to the first exile. We are heading in our second exile, and that is what everyone down the line has ever preached. I mean, this was a never-ending cycle. 13 years. I mean, not 13 years. Sorry, 1,000 years, if you will. 1,000 generations, because we're talking about cycles. Okay, so with the earth being reincarnated, dying out, being reincarnated, dying out, being reincarnated, dying out, they don't want you to know that you don't die, you just reincarnate, you know. And I think it's hilarious because you know, all the fighting that we getting ready to do here, you know, it took a lot. It took a lot of heartache. It took a lot of atrocities. It took a lot of hurt. It took a lot of people. It took a lot of everything, you know. It took a lot of life away from folks throughout the generations being robbed. It was a robbery, okay? Now, when we talk about going into the old, into the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, that's a free world, okay, beloveds? That's a free world. You need to break out of being domesticated in your head, honey. And there's no one to govern you but you, honey. You will be rich, honey. You will be able to govern the earth righteously. That's why I said when the righteous take the earth back, the earth shall be in peace. All these fools just mishandling the natural resources of the earth, creating all these ludicrous things that can harm the earth. And when people are done calling each other humans, right? It's okay to be a body, because as long as you be a citizen and you want civil rights, you're going to get treated like crap. And I'm not going to stop talking about this actually. Let me rewind. Come again. Come selector. I'm not going to stop talking about the fact that, everybody is yearning to come out the system. This is a fallen America. Americana. You understand? These patriarchs have lost their way. That's why Trump was put here to kill the patriarch uh move. Okay, the genetic mutations. And by the way, let me say this for universal law purposes. This is my disclaimer. The infinite creator blessed us with free will. The one creator, and which this will allow free markets, not governments. Free will. You will not infringe on free will. No one shall infringe upon free will, not even the 1%. They must be destroyed. Hawa. Free market, not government. Big problematic. We're a republic. We don't need sovereignty. Sovereignty is just a contract of you whores that invaded us, came up in here claiming something that you don't own. You've been leading us astray, have us to and fro, fighting amongst one another. We are sadly disgusted by you all. And by the way, they will use every tactic and strategy. Let me fill in and add and elaborate around my beloved sister Vicky Dilla, the one and only. Shaking the earth, the mother of it all. Gotta love her energy, baby. So here's the deal. She's sounding the alarm. She's shaking the earth with the awareness of all the things that these folks have done to us, all the way from them using black faces to keep you calm while they want to continuously steal your life. And they want you see. And this is where free market comes in, not government. You understand me? Free will. You will not infringe on free will. It is not, you are breaking the universal laws, and I come against you with everything that the Most High has to offer when it comes to destroying you beyond wrath. For the Most High say, vengeance is mine. And that's why it is very important that we do take heed to this, that we set apart our differences, take our humility, okay, and give the Most High a chance to show up and show in and show out. I highly recommend that, because the same way, you know, the whole world is around here, knowing what's going on. I mean, you have these Hollywood actors, actresses, knowing what's really good for them. They know that their time is up. And I'm done. I'm so done with you all. Everything you have done in California, you know very well what California is. You know what Los Angeles is on the map. For real, for real. See, the masses don't know. And that's how y'all thrive. Because as long as you can chase a daggle money in front of the world and have the natural resources in the palm of your hands, like if you are the gods, and you're not, you're the sons of perdition. And we must clarify that. You know that scripture that y'all create monarchs from in the name of the gathering? Yeah, that one. Second Thessalonians. You know, the son of perdition is being rebuilt. So one thing is for sure is that I don't think that you guys get it though. The infinite creator will bless us with free will. The one and only creator. You will not destroy humanity. You will not destroy humanity in the name of the Most High. Hawa. You will be destroyed. You will be swallowed. You need to be. No one is going to be in your transhumanism unless they are not written in the book of life. But there will be. Your time is so short, even shorter than short. And I felt the need to get on here and expose some of these things. So without further ado, let me go ahead and let me show you. First of all, let's get a little wolf of this. Let this I'm gonna let this play real quick. And then we're gonna unpack this. So let's go ahead and go here and let's let this play real quick.
There's a fortified fence. This thing began to be put up, began to be erected around January 7th after the insurrection here. When I was here for the inauguration, this was completely in place. The barbed wire fencing on top of it was completely there as well. Let's flip around here a little bit. You can see this business, Bank of America, right? Burrito Brothers right next to it. All of this, though, was boarded up on inauguration day. These places now open for business. So nonetheless, this is very much, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, a city on lockdown because of these credible threats. The chief of the Capitol Hill Police essentially saying over the last 2 months, get this, Allison, over a 90% increase in threats against members of Congress from domestic violence. So it is really sort of a tenuous situation in this city. And I think the overarching question here is how long are not only Washingtonians, folks that live in D.C., but members of Congress, of the House, and of the Senate having to deal with the security threat and the security situation in the city?
Yeah, Yasmin, do we have any sense of how long these extra security measures will be around? How long there will be an extra police, if not National Guard presence there in D.C.?
So it's kind of a two-tier timeline, right? Mm-hmm. So March 12th is the initial timeline that is in place from that first order back on January 6th to bring National Guard into the city in order to deal with threats against the city and against lawmakers here. Our understanding now from our NBC reporting is that now the Department of Defense has a request in from Capitol Hill Police to extend the presence of National Guard over a certain amount of days. The amount of days we don't necessarily know. The Washington Post is reporting that could be 60 days, which should take us into May. So think about that. Into May. If the Department of Defense approves this, that means National Guard could be in place in this city until at least May. And who knows how much beyond that, because as we have mentioned, there has been an uptick in domestic violence, domestic terrorism in this country over the last 4 years during the Trump administration. And again, over the last 2 months, 90% increase against members of Congress. I want to reiterate that because I think it's incredibly important to understand how much the city's on edge, how much lawmakers are on edge, and how much of a need there is for the security. But if you think about it, the overarching view here, I've covered news overseas in the Middle East, in Afghanistan, Iran, and places like this. You think about the fortified zones in places like that, around embassies, around federal buildings. Well, that's what we're dealing with here now in the United States, a fortified zone around the Capitol building because of these extreme amount of threats that we're seeing in this country.
Yeah, something you will absolutely see overseas, something we're not used to seeing here in our own capital. Yasmin, before you go, I just want to ask, where you're standing, the real thing that stands out is that fortification, those fences. But while we were talking, we were showing video of National Guards troops and other security forces around the city. As you've walked around, as you've moved around D.C., what is it like? Do you see them everywhere, or are they just in certain spots, certain pockets, particularly around the Capitol? What's the kind of vibe and feeling that you got when you were around D.C. today, especially compared to what it was like for the inauguration?
So it's very different than the inauguration, right? And about 2 blocks from where I'm standing, during the inauguration, there were checkpoints, right? So you would get to a certain crossing, a certain street crossing, and you would have police there asking you questions, for instance, saying, where are you going? Where are you headed? You can't get past this checkpoint. There were like 2 to 3 checkpoints during the inauguration that you couldn't come within a 5-10 block radius of the Capitol. we're standing right outside the Capitol zone here, right? I was able to get up to this point because I was a member of press during the inauguration. A lot of folks were not necessarily able to get up to this point. So it's much different now than it was during the inauguration. None of those checkpoints are actually here. You see cops driving around. There's certainly an increased presence. I was talking with my producer, Alex, who actually lives in Washington, D.C. You wouldn't necessarily see these cops driving around the way that we're seeing right now. But to the point in which we see checkpoints and that sort of thing, that's not necessarily happening. And these fortified zones, this fence, this barbed wire fencing, this was all in place during the inauguration. And of course, the National Guards that you're seeing all throughout here, they were in place as well during the inauguration, Allison.
Yeah, Yasmin, as you're saying this, I saw a lady walk by with a shopping bag, someone go by on a bicycle, something we certainly did not see that close to the Capitol for the inauguration. Thank you so much for giving us such a vivid picture of what D.C. is like today. Even though he lost the election, QAnon followers say today is Donald Trump's true inauguration day. But where did that conspiracy theory come from? NBC News reporter Ben Collins is here to take us inside the QAnon chatter. No one better to answer this question. So, Ben, what do QAnon followers think will happen today, and why in particular March 4th?
Okay, so let's back up to the 6th, which was the first big day they thought Donald Trump was going to find a way to be the president still. Despite not being reelected. So back on the 6th, they thought, Donald Trump would not only just be reinaugurated, but all of his enemies would be rounded up and executed. That is the end game of QAnon. It's this very violent ending to it. They're all hanged in public as like a big D-Day in this space. They were let down enormously on the 6th. They thought they were basically hung out to dry by the president. And again, on the 20th, they put their hopes onto the real inauguration day, saying this was all a trap and Joe Biden really wouldn't be the president. It would still be Donald Trump. When they ran out of options after that, they really went searching. They went digging. And they found it in the sovereign citizen movement, which is a different conspiracy theory back from 1971, where people who are basically just tax evaders are trying to find ways to say the government isn't legitimate and hasn't been legitimate since the 1800s. And they say that the last legitimate president was Ulysses S. Grant. This was back in the 1860s, and that Donald Trump would be the 19th president of the United States. So it's all very ridiculous, but they say that March 4th is the real inauguration day and all that stuff. They were really holding on to their hopes for this for a couple of weeks. As they got closer to the day, as they got closer to March 4th, what they realized was nothing was being planned. Everyone was afraid of the feds. Nobody wanted to show up to a protest and, immediately get questioned or cuffed. So they are starting to say it's a false flag. This was ginned up by the media. But in reality, over the last few weeks, they were really pinning their hopes on this. And as the day got closer and nothing was going to happen, they started to be let down again.
So, Ben, let me ask you how this compares to the conversations that you saw before the January 6th riots, because I know those started to get out of control. It was really getting hyped up heading towards the riots. What did the conversations online look like ahead of today? Same vibe, completely different? How would you characterize it?
It's a wildly different vibe. Civilian parts of the pro-Trump internet, regular people were all in on this whole thing on the 6th being, 1776 the second time. They that sort of thing trended on Twitter on the day before the 6th. People were taking pictures of the ammo they brought to DC and posting it on Trump forums. They were taking pictures of hotel rooms, hotel lobbies, planes full of Trump supporters who were ready. And they had merch. They had T-shirts made about the insurrection, about how this would be their next revolution. That is not at all what is happening today. In the run-up to today, there's like this mystical thinking that maybe this is that maybe something in the air could happen, an ethereal thought like a religion, but there's no actual real planning that I've seen.
So, Ben, let me ask you then, a lot of QAnon followers confused, divided since President Biden's inauguration, since what they thought might happen did not happen. Can this movement survive another disappointment? Will it try to reinvent itself and come up with some new inauguration date? I mean, what is the future of QAnon from here on out?
The QAnon movement has embedded itself into parts of American life and sort of debranded the QAnon part of it. All of that mythology is embedding itself into churches throughout the country. There are churches who are preaching the gospel of Q. saying that General Flynn is in charge and Donald Trump is really secretly in charge. We just have to wait. We have to pray for more. This is ingrained itself into American culture. And part of this is Q from QAnon, the secret messenger who's prophesizing all this stuff. He has said there is no such thing as QAnon. It's all, there is Q and there are Anons. There is no such thing as QAnon. We just need to let people know about the cabal. So what you're seeing is this sort of camouflaging. It's deeply into American politics now, but in the future it won't be called QAnon.
Ben, I honestly can't imagine what it is like to look at these kinds of forums and read all this stuff all day long. We are so thankful that you do it and report back to us. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
So as y'all see it, you're gonna get it here raw. I'm not gonna sit here and mess with y'all heads. Let me make sure. Okay, make sure my stuff is working. So yeah, so there y'all have it. So what Trump did was when he had these Trump supporters going, he was just there in the spirit to destroy this patriot, to destroy everything. Okay, they work together. They work together. Their job is to deceive the masses anyway. And like I said, they become parasites. They thrive off of lies. They thrive off of this land. We have been robbed. These are invaders. Okay. And I notice every time I'm on someone else's live and I type these words in, they got a problem with that. They skip it. They delete it. I have proof. And it's done because it's never by a moderator. Usually it would tell you the moderator put you on timeout, or the host to the show put you on timeout. They deleted it. Those words just disappear. Okay. Didn't matter whose show I'm on, what site I'm on. It could be any social media. When you say that we are the children of Israel, we are the inhabitants of this land, they have a problem with that. They have a problem with you knowing that they invaded here. They are invaders. They have sovereignty contracts, sovereignty, democracy, stocracy. Okay, fake ass shit from hell that they only violated their peace treaties. They're beasts of the field. You understand? They are invaders. They are invaders. They have us in captivity against our will, and they have us in these hospitals against our will under the law of medical martial law that never was given a code, because they never knew or thought that, it would be such an advance in these fields. And these doctors and nurses have become psychopaths. They are your murderers, your killers. They are the death of your soul right now. You understand? And some of you have been judged and has been orchestrated like this. So I know, they can tell that I know that the saddest thing is that the Most High then told the children of Israel, my people will perish from a lack of knowledge. You do not want to stop being stiff-necked in so many ways. You undermine the Most High's power. First of all, you put him in a box. You call him everything but the Most High. You sit there and you create all these illusions. You mislead the children of Israel. And all these parasites and invaders, if you will, have come to deceive one another. They have striven and thrive off of lies. They stripped the children of Israel of their land, of their identity. And the white man, how dare you say, the European will say, Negro, you have no history. How dare you? The Most High will destroy you all. Okay? Just like that. Poof. And just like you white people like to set off examples for black people, like you don't want them to come forward. Well, the Most High is going to set off a huge vengeance to let all your white people know that the Most High is the creator of it all. You understand? All those knees and the neck. And you know what's funny? I have pictures since way back when the Spirit began to take and wipe out the children of Israel of their wickedness, of coming out of Egypt to begin with, from the first exile. And when Moses came down with those commandments, you all couldn't even wait. You didn't waste no time to go back into the heathen ways. Here's the deal. Now, it's going to be a gathering. You're going to be put in the wilderness. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to just give you a little peek of what I'm talking about. And then you get put in the wilderness. And then you begin to go back to where you started before you became a snare and a scandal for the Gentiles. Before, where Moses had left off, when the Most High was telling Moses, listen, I'm doing this for my own sake. The children of Israel will become a snare and a scandal for the Gentiles. They will be taken for a stroll. So bad. They will worship idols. They will sacrifice their children to demons. And the word tells y'all that too. Oh, you think I just war with just any? I don't have a favorite people. You understand me, y'all? I don't have a color. I go by spirits. That's how I come for you. When I see you a threat to humanity, I come in spirit and in truth. Don't you ever get color twisted. In the name of color, they come all flavors. But it's that one wicked ass spirit you can see a mile away. And you should have radar for because it's an energy. You ever come across somebody, I don't care who it is, and you will feel some kind of type of way? You be like, oh, my heart, ugh, that part. So it's all about a spirit, beloveds. Don't let the color fool you. Now, let me tell you something. I'm sorry to say, can the Gentiles be saved? That is a crucial question. Nah, with a big old question mark. I don't know, beloveds. Their only salvation is through you all. And they refuse to cleave to Israel. I don't know what else to say. On that note, that speaks for itself, beloveds. They will continue to come for the children of Israel in every form and shape, in every monarch that has ever been created, in a devouring manner, roaring like a lion, seeking whom they may devour. Oh, baby, they are dwelling places. They look like you and I. They're dwelling places for demons because these characters were born for this. But see, that's why the Most High will tell you in the tragedy of it all, do not be deceived by any means. So in order to not be deceived and by any means, you have to come to a realization. And the truth prevails. So you don't have to do too much because the truth is the light. The truth, the way, and the light. You understand, beloved? The truth will guide you. Now, people are still lusting for the things of this world. We have to get ready to overstand this. Before they have created all of this, it was nothing but earth. Who is Adam? The earth, baby. Do you understand this? Do you overstand this? Do you understand this? Mother Earth is the mother. You are the children. And all they do is destroy Mother Earth right now. I mean, like, look at all the stupidness they do. And then with the natural resources at that, who you think created these electrics? It came from the natural resources from the earth. They're misusing it. And that's why the gods are coming back to destroy them. They're not unidentifying flying objects anymore. They are the gods, and I'm going to identify them right now, because the more I identify them, I want my peoples to not fear when they come to wreak havoc on this earth in the name of the children of Israel. See, what they have is they have some good stuff. They have higher powers. They don't have to do too much. But they make a lot of movies about these, though. It's always been about you. Every psyop, every movie, the future has been talking to you, and you don't hear it. But well, let me tell you this: for all you money lovers, let's make this very clear. See, the next world ain't for you. Oh, money lovers, the next world ain't for you. You know why? Because you are bought and paid for. You have lived your best. You sold your soul. Now, the reason why I say this is you do have like 2 more seconds to repent, but I know you're not going to do that because you still underestimate the power of the Most High, which is cool, like we all do in every circumstance. Didn't matter. We all had a point in our life where we tried to take advantage of the earth and the earth almost took us out. Don't play with me. I'm not for play. You understand? Get the hell on with y'all stupidnesses and discombobulaces and uninformaces and dumbed downnesses and all the damnnesses, homophobicisses, all the stupid shitsnesses, the democraticnesses done taught your asses along with the republicnesses from Hellenesses. Y'all got me extravaganza twistedness. I'm going there with y'all today because you know what? I gotta throw a little flavor in this. God forbid if they lose their soul. Ain't that something? That's true salvation, baby. When you come across your enemy and you look at them, the word, oh my baby, love said the wickedest wise thing that she could have said to the wise, and it could have triggered the wicked. Well, she said, let me tell you something, black folks. You are the only people that I know that can be tormented by your tormentors and let them walk amongst you. Let that ponder on you. Now, see, the next gods and the next higher entities, they're not coming to play with these folks. You understand me? They will tear them into pieces. Because they too busy being a drunken cup over the children of Israel, any old doing well, and exploiting them and their wealth and their history, like just some old artificial. They turned your history and your everything that matters, that what made the earth so great. They twisted and turned it into Looney Tunes and went buffoonery and coonery and crazy and exotic, and they just spread out all over the world and throughout the earth with all this toxicity. But you know what? Great old great is coming back, because greater he who lives in you is greater than this world. So who's great? Hmm? Who is opening their pineal glands? Who is being greater than this world right now? If that is you, shout out to you, the one and onlys, the 144. Now listen, you are the top dog governors of this earth. You are the righteous, and you have the right to judge the unrighteousness. That is what's going on right now, beloveds. And you do you. You do it righteously. You must be righteous. You must be keeping your little statutes and your commandments. You must be in spirit and in truth. And sometimes we're gonna be looking crazy out here when we have to come up against our enemy with some cuss words, because cuss words is just nothing but black magic. You understand me? So sometimes we have to come in and undo what they have done. So and that comes with reversing and reversing the curses. So forgive me if I may sound so harsh and so empathyless, but we are dealing with empathyless. So you cannot come with emotions on your sleeves when you are dealing with these beasts of the field that have no interest in your best. Okay? In your best. And your best needs to be your best without your enemy trying to dictate your every move. So this is our struggle. Identifying the enemy, trying to destroy the enemy before the enemy is getting ready to destroy us, has always been a fight. It's nothing new under the sun. This is the one of the greatest of all, ongoing almost to the last generations, is all that's happening. I think we have only a couple of more days. They know that this new year, once it hits, Oh, it comes with waves. And now I want to mention that, and I cannot stress this enough. But before I get into that, I want you to know that they're going to be using Grandmaster Jay tonight as Black people in the spotlight, um, sending out frequency to trigger the monarchs in the Second Thessalonians chapter, if you will. And the reason why I say that, let me go ahead and put this on the screen real quick. Let me just put this on the screen real quick. And let me see something here. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna just use Sister Elena. Um, right here is something that they will be airing. I think it's great. I think that they know pretty much they get it, but they are putting us in the spotlight. And once again, this is what they do because they are in our land. They're unwarranted. They know that we're becoming aware of this. They know that we know that they slaughtered our ancestors when they got here. We know that they had hoarded them into slavery when they had got here. We know that there has been a robbery when they had got here. And we've been under their curse ever since. Along with these religions that I refuse to take a bow in, I respect people as bodies, not as what you have learned as a broken frequency that has robbed you, deprived you. I do not acknowledge that bitter energy because I don't want to continue to scare people wrong. Shout out to those who need to do that. If you are a big figure and you have the biggest platform, that is the best way to orchestrate your voice when it comes to dealing with people as a collective consciousness. You have to let them know at the end of the day, we are collective consciousness. If that's what you believe, I pray that, that the Most High will touch you where you need to be touched. You understand? Because we are living. We are living beings. We're not just any old thing. We are the best of the best. The Most High created the best of the best. You understand? So they will use these tactics. They're going to put Grandmaster Jay in the spotlight and use it as, yeah, okay, he is a threat to the Second Amendment, knowing that we want to take these folks down. Okay, stay with me. This is why it's so important to pay attention to what. And now, not to mention Derek. Okay, Derek and all these things that are going on. Why around Derek's time? And then these tactics with the media, pumping fear in the air about, oh, they're going to come to the Capitol, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Let me tell you something. They are, like I said, when around this time when they was cooking up all this, okay, I was saying and preaching, Black people stay home. Do not go out. Stay home. Now, I know there's some good people out there. They want to be in this. They want to be a Black face in this. There's some things that you ain't got no business being in. Because especially if you are high profile, you do not want to be somewhere where you can be easily targeted. So you have to learn how to move. And I know there's a lot of young activists and very well known, very popular, very, very popular, and very on offense, defense, and everything kind of fence. And that's where we go wrong at. If we're going to come collectively, we should not be fighting with each other. But, there goes that but. Here goes the school system in you. Okay? I need everybody to understand this. Why can we not change? Because grew up in Egypt so long. Egypt is so embedded in you. You have to wash Egypt out of you. Nobody can wash Egypt out of you. And that's why the Most High said, you will know minds by their spirits. Because some of y'all will never give up Egypt. Some of y'all will be destroyed with the heathens and their idols. Which reminds me of why they moving the way they moving. So let's go ahead. And now that I've broke that spell, let's make a note of this. Okay. Let me show you what's very important. So when we go into heading towards the new year, as you can see, March 13th is a new moon. Okay, they move in frequency. They try to harvest our energy. They try to always make sure that we are distracted around these times, around the Passovers. Well, it's funny how people would call the memorial, it was a holy day. It was something where everyone burnt their rituals to the Most High, and they gathered and feast. Memorial Day became a party day, a day that it's the beginning of the summer. Hey, all the pools are open, blah blah blah, wee wee, and the beginning of a whole new year of infestation and sinful nature and so forth. Now, why this is so artificial? Because before all these things have ever occurred, all we ever had was our law, statutes, and commandments. Time did not matter. We went according to the moon. Okay, and Happy New Year to those. I'm gonna have to see what I could do. I'm gonna have to pray about it. I do have some I think I'm gonna be doing a new video. I'm gonna be doing a new video. And for those who are out there in new land that are fighting over all this and all that, you should be slaughtering your lamb. You should be getting your Passover ready, getting your unleavened bread, celebrating the Passover, so we can see our enemies fall so greatly. Okay, so New Year's, okay, is officially in March. The new season. The new moon begins March 13th. Now we have to beware, okay, of the we have to be ready. Right now, I've been just cleaning out the house, getting rid of things you ain't got no business having in your house, cleaning out your house, cleaning out your cabinets, keeping your Sabbath on that day with your Passover, and praying with your family and feasting is all you want to find yourself doing. Because after that, all hell is getting ready to break loose. And if you are not covered that day, you might as well call yourself uncounted for the rest of the year. So with that being said, beloved, I had to bring this to you on the forefront. And I always have to decode things that need to be decoded. They're working. And also, they're talking about paying you on March 13th. No, you want the stimulus checks now. We want our stimulus checks now so we can buy our lambs, so we can buy our stuff, and we can keep our Sabbath. We can make unleavened bread. I'm going to be doing unleavened bread. And it's just basically a nice, good meal. You in prayer. You are feasting. You are preparing. You cleaned up. You cleaned up. You don't want to carry any sins over into the next year. You want to be as clean, be as blemished. That way, in keeping your Sabbath, you're able to see things that no one else is seeing. The Most High blesses you, and fasting and praying and crying and mourning is what we will find ourselves doing, because when the Most High begins to reveal, you're going to find yourself crying all by yourself. But you're not by yourself. You're in the spirit realm. You're being counted worthy. You are on the earth. You have to let your frequency be heard. You have to go out and make a difference. We have to sound the alarms. We have to begin to wake up the masses. And those who have a chance to hear it, make sure that when you are saying it, you are saying it in spirit and in truth. And we will be working on that, and how to approach situations and how to break spells without cussing and acting a fool, and being humble and very powerful. Because when you have this truth and it has been given to you, and you have the key to unlock, you didn't get that. Mm-hmm. To unlock the seals that you have blindly been under and subject to. Beloveds, you begin to master your power. You don't have to harm nobody. You don't have to do anything. It's a power that is granted to you. It can only come to you if you are living right. You can only be blessed with this if you are in spirit and in truth. It can't be in a liar. It don't dwell in liars. It only comes to those, and you got to be able to handle the truth. It comes with a big responsibility too. You will have to see and say things and warn the people. But it will come naturally because it's a boldness and courageous that comes upon you. It is a spirit. The most I said, I will give you the spirit in that last moment. Oh my goodness. And it's so powerful. And I love it. And I love every minute of it. And I live for it and I'm going to die for it. Because that's what I'm here for. I am living my part. This is my part. And I'm going to play it to the fullest. I will trample over you snakes and you serpents like you ain't got no business. You ain't got no business getting in somebody's way. And for those of you who are hearing me at the sound of my voice, bless you. Bless you with wisdom. Pray for wisdom. Please pray for wisdom. Wisdom is is rich. And let me tell you something. We're living in a time, back to what I was saying, that the first shall be last, and the last shall be first, and the rich shall be poor, and the poor shall be rich. But guess where you're gonna be rich at? The poor can only be rich in spirit. So if this is you, beloved, you are rich in spirit. And that is what's going into the new world. Money won't exist. It's going to be in spirit and in truth. And this is your girl, the Talk with Tiny. And I had to come over here humbly and bring this video to you raw. And please bear with me. I will be praying for us, to come together and even online and celebrate our Passover, because every time we do those things, the evil staff, the wicked staff, they begin to fall. Billions before they fall out at our right, and billions shall fall at our left. And that's how they'll be kissing our foot. And they think that they are going to be like the infinite creator. No, the infinite creator blessed us and will continue to bless us with infinite love, with free will, the one creator, free markets, not governments, free will. You will not infringe on free will. In the name of the Most High, Hawa. No one shall infringe upon free will. Not even the 1%, not the Bilderbergs, not the Ludovica bars, Khazarian mobsters, not the Khazars, not the Neanderthals from the Caucasus Mountains, not the 13 so-called bloodlines, because you ain't even that. Y'all so stupid. You're going to hell in a hell basket. You will definitely be incinerated in such a time. Even though it may look like it's not going to happen, but it's happening. That's why everything around you is falling apart. Oh, it's not a coincidence. And for the Q folks, they said they will save Israel for last. Here you have it. They have saved us the best for last. Now you go and you tell Q, I said he can kiss my feet. You know what I mean? That part. Because God does win. And so does his beloved children for his sake, for the Most High's sake. Now let me emphasize this. Mother Earth and Father Sky has been there from the beginning and the end, is the author, okay, and the finisher of our story. Y'all should be privileged. You was white privileged to destroy and kill and steal. That's what the only thing y'all was white privileged in. You took honor in killing, stealing, and destroying the children of Israel. The only one thing that you had that could have gave you another chance in life. Y'all not hearing me. But see, you were created for that part. And that's why y'all hide behind Assyrian beasts of the field, talking serpents, dogmas. These are the characters that you hide behind. There's so much more. So many more. You hide and you blend in. And you tell the children of Israel that they're Gentiles. It's the most dogma curse you have ever done to the children of Israel. You've stolen everything for them. You've taken everything for yourself. You've taken everything for yourself. And for that, the Most High is going to take it all back and destroy you. And you already know the half. You can turn your face upside down and around and about. But one thing is for sure is you can't run from your future. You have to pay your debt just like we did. We endursed suffering, slavery, and every diabolical atrocity that you had to offer in the name of time, half time, and time and a half. Well, guess what, buddies? Time is up. And that, I mean literally, not the Michi X floating in the air, paying homages to demons and pressing forward, trying to sell money to the children of Israel because your money is not going to matter. See, your spirit is going to be your way in the next kingdom. Do you understand this, overstand this, understand this? It's called spiritual warfare for a reason, because you've given the children everything but the truth. But the children of Israel have done that to themselves. And all this time, they've been in a broken covenant. And that you cannot change. So all that this has been a new covenant, everything you have in that Middle East going on right now is a figure of your imagination. And if you listen to Isaiah 45, Psalms 83, and Isaiah 14 in my last video, as I manifest before your eyes and decoded the chessboard, you shall take heed to that. And the lyrics and the words, and don't pay attention to what they say, but pay attention to what they do. And then match that up with prophecy. Unto them, beloveds, stay tuned. I have a busy little evening, but tomorrow we will be doing something different. I will even do a little cooking show as far as trying to show everyone how to do unleavened bread, where and how to buy it, where you can pick it up from, what kind of flour you should be using, without bleach, without chemicals, anything that these people possess and put artificial things in. You should be throwing those things out your house, because some of these things have required imaginable things and products and poison and so forth, and in that department, especially when it comes to poisoning the children of Israel. You know what they do as far as like even the water, they with the GMOs and the dirty seeds and the poisoning seeds and the that's why it's not a coincidence that Bill Gates, the one that wants to depopulate the earth, wants to influence you to take this vaccination shot. You understand? And he has just now so-called bought the whole most majority of United States land, like he's some big old murder. He is a murderer, right? And I don't even know why you people, at some point, the people will hunt him down when the hunters become the hunted. Stay tuned for that. That they cannot stop. That is prophecy. That is in motion right now. And that is not a threat. That is prophecy. These people will go and hunt them down in such a time. And it's not nobody can do, because it's going to be a spirit that will control that. There will be a spirit that will control everything. Everything is a spirit. What spirit is the key question? Who is the master player of it all? And who is the pundits? And who is playing the real chess moves? That's how we should be examining ourselves in the name of the Most High. Just know that even a baby, when a baby is born, they call on the Most High's important name, whether you're breathing or gasping for air. And you notice when they cry, they only say one word. Hua, hua, hua. That is indeed the name of the Most High. So if you having any kind of issues, please feel free to call on him. He said, those who call on my name shall be saved. And I understand too, a lot of you out there had dreams that you've been calling on the name of Jesus and you were still going through all this ruckus in your dream. I'm here to remind you that that is a false name. And even King David has won. The Messiah has won. The chosen ones are warning. Is Messiah means chosen. Okay, you got some chosen people out here that are telling you what's going on, what's good, and you're still looking for something other than the King David that's coming back, the everlasting King. You understand? So let's clarify this. All right, it's in your DNA. It's a code, and that's what they want. They want that code to be turned off before it is turned on. Indeed. So this is your girl, the Talk with Tiny. Like, share, subscribe, and share this knowledge. Share this knowledge because knowledge is power, and that is the okay. Knowledge is power, and knowledge is the only key to unlock the seals of it all. Okay, they say it's seven. I believe it's a lifetime. Okay, time should not matter at the end of the tunnel. Okay, this earth has been here before these heathens and is going to be here after these heathens with an everlasting people. And that's what they are troubled and bothered by. Because true salvation is the earth without them. Imagine that. The earth without these so-called elites, wanna be powers to be, but they ain't shit. The staff has been broken. They going to hell fast and they breaking in pieces and they going to hell. May fire meet them from beneath their feet where they stand. There's no running from this, you fools. You could pack all the bunkers up you want, you dumbasses, but you're going to hell. And as a matter of fact, your hell will meet you from beneath your hunky ass, devilish ass, demonic ass, leading astray asses, teaching the children of Israel in your dirty ass, perverted ass schools, churches, and everything you have ever done to the children of Israel as an invader on the land that you came on and you are unwarranted. You must be destroyed in your own demise. Dumbasses. But that's all I have for y'all right now. And I don't want to mess this amazing video up because some of you think that I can carry on like, oh, can she just have a civilized conversation without cussing? First of all, when you see civil, you better know that civil is peace. That's what civil means. Peace, to be at peace. Okay? How is it that these damn hunkies can give you peace in the name of civil rights when everything they do is not peaceful, is violating the universal laws, has violated human body rights, and that's what they're going to pay for. Suck it up, buttercups. Don't you feel the earth shifted? When everything reverses, welcome to your matrix in the making. You hunkies. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Giddy up, giddy